rocket like rocket fuel.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me if
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Carolina Panthers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go now. 50, plant.
Check, 47. Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Hit it.
And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
After the run, Newton going to throw. He's going to look deep for more. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Newton delivers this one to McCaffrey. And some space here. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Graham Gano on for the extra point. And this will be good to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, Eason. Wide open receiver complete. 30, 10, touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 11th touchdown of the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line...
Cam fighting, he lost the football, it's out, and the Vikings pick up the football. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Hey, Orbit.
28, Mike, 28. Hey, 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 hey. Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog.
Ready?
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run. How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
He's coming, check in. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Now they'll try the jet sweep here. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
60 Pittsburgh. Check 61. Matchbox lights. Oh! Switch!
Mike, 28. Here we go.
Hey, exit.
28.
Step.
To throw on second down. Eason. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. Eason. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. On second down, McCaffrey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a fourth down. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. Fourth down. Well, I thought they should have punted before. Now they probably definitely need to punt, right?
Yeah, we did a little mind melding there, didn't we? Because I was wondering, why are you out there if you're not going to punt it in the first place? Now, I don't think they have any choice.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Our first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from Green Bay. And it's the Bears who are off to the early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
91.
Off the bootleg. Eason. Got his man. It's Williams. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Bravo.
These two teams all tied after one.
On the set. Hey, Charlie. 6'6", pull it high.
Okay, just like that.
Throwing on first down. Eason. It's caught. Smith.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Mike, 28. Let's go one more.
Here's 2nd and 8. Going up top. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 39 yards there, a big one. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. 2nd and 2. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. A big seam, and he might go all the way. He's at the 50. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Back at the 36-yard line.
Greg.
Silver. Mike's 47. That's it. What we got? 47, Mike. 47.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And the gamble fails. It's incomplete. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. First down, here's the run with Cook. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. First down marker at the 31. It's third down.
132 fighter.
56 to Mike, boy. 56. Go. 56.
Operating from the gun. Eason. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
At their own 25-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. On first down, it's Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Danielle Hunter, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. To try again after the sack. Newton. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Danielle Hunter in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. After the sack, they'll come up now third and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time, it yields a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Hey, wahoo!
56.
Now!
Yeah. 56. Mike, 56. Right here. 56.
On first down, Eason. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Ball on the 30 as they come up second and 10.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. 56 to Mike, boy. 56. Check, 56. Target.
Go on.
Tighten up. Watch the safety creep.
Protein spill.
Check. Crunch.
On the ground, it's Cook. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
70, Indy. X3, 218, chop. Hey, high 7.
And it's third down.
Looking to throw. Eason. And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. K1 short with a sack. That's 315 pounds of man right there. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked it.
And the pressure gets to him again.
But this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations. Hard to vary it up and fool the defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number one. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. A final shot before the break. Newton. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
First down 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
A gain of 8 yards. And it's third down.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for third down.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Undercrunch, undercrunch, undercrunch. Kill, turn up. Kill, turn up.
Get it.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? It looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
Back to throw. Eason. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Off the play fake. Eason. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he's got this down to the 35. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 35.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Second and 10. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
Hey, Delta. 56 to Mark.
From the gun, Eason into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
To throw is Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. Here's Michael Pilardi now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Fielded at about the 28. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Look at me, zipper.
56, Mike, 56, right there, 56.
80 weapons.
Watch the edge. Check.
Rock it. Check. Ready.
Now a give to P. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
56, check 56. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go. 56 to Mike.
On 1st and 10, Eason. That'll be complete to Cook. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Greystone travel.
Now a run with Cook. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Matchbox flights.
On the carry, it's Cook. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That's good for 28 yards.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point splits the uprights. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
There's a punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. From the red zone now, Newton. Flushed out right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. To throw again on second down. Newton. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
He may try and run for this. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Cam Newton. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys are back within a single score. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40.
Pull it high.
Y'all playing the wrong football. 56, Mike, 56, right there, right there. 50.
Hey, shoot. Don't say nothing. Say go.
Operating from the gun, Eason firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
First down, Vikings.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Off the field. Let's get off the field.
You're out.
Hey, turn it out. Shift. No.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Switch.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. There to stop him was Rashawn Golden. The objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
2nd and 6. He'll get this off to Jamal Williams. Touchdown, Vikings! Jamal Williams, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Great. Echo.
Mike, 55. Check, 55.
2nd and 10, Newton again. He goes full extension, and he's got it. Give him 18. It's a Carolina 1st down. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Rolling to his right. And that's complete to McCaffrey. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 11 yards and a Panther 1st down. From the 50, Newton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A gain there of 30 big ones. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Again, Newton. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They start the drive with Cook. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Again, it's Cook. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. Now Cook, and this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 3 yards won't be enough here, as that'll bring up 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Minnesota, the win moves them to 8-7 now on the year. And they will head back home